What's up, Fig fan? Welcome back to the Fig Heel YouTube channel. And today we're going to be unboxing the new WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition Jimmy Uso No Yeet. Stay tuned. All right, Fig fan, we are here in the Heel Cave, loving the Hasbro wall back here. Got a bunch of Ultimates over here you can't see on camera, but it's very, very cool. Some shelving and everything. But speaking of Ultimate Editions, today we are unboxing that Ultimate Edition Jimmy Uso to go with the new Jey Uso, which I still am waiting for. It's on pre-order. I don't know what's taking so long, but here we have the Jimmy, so we're going to break into it. This is not Jimmy's first Ultimate Edition, but personally, I do prefer it to the previous release. 6 feet 3 inches, it says, from San Francisco, California. His finisher is the Flying Oos, and he's the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champion with his brother. And it says, no yeet. While he was always the one to look out for his twin brother, Jey Uso, Jimmy had to make the ultimate choice and sided with Roman Reigns, throw up those ones, baby, and the Bloodline over his own twin. At Royal Rumble 2024, Jimmy Uso set out to prove to the world that he is more than his brother's keeper. He is his own man. So this represents his gear at Royal Rumble 2024, which I think is pretty sweet. That red no yeet shirt. So we are going to rip into this bad boy. Typical Ultimate Edition fashion, has a picture of the figure on the back as well as an actual real-life picture of Jimmy at the event. On the spine, we have a nice shot of Jimmy again, but that is not why we're here, right? We are not here to look at pictures. We are not here to talk about photographs. We are here to talk about figures and see what we got our hands on today, and that is this Ultimate Edition. So let's slice those seals, as we used to say on the Case Fresh podcast. Let's open up this bad boy. All right. Pop him out. And then one of my favorite things is always those secret messages that are on the actual bottom and top of the inner box. So here, the first one says, Born a King. And then the other one on the top, surprise, surprise, it says, No Yeet. No Yeet. And as Jey Uso has become a world heavyweight champion, I'm seeing increasingly more people on the no yeet bandwagon. So I'm going to throw that over here, and we're going to take this bad boy out, starting off with the hands. My philosophy on unboxing is to always take out the small pieces first. I don't know why anybody wouldn't do that. You pull the figure out first, these hands go flying. We got a lot of shelves with some open lippage on the bottom. That's right, I said open lippage, and we don't want these small pieces getting lost because we like to have complete action figures, you know? In the event down the line you want to do a trade or a sale, it is always better and you always get the top dollar if you have a complete figure. And I'm not talking top dollar from WWE fame, or should I say the Treasure Show. I'm talking money, buddy. So let's take this out. There's the cloth goods shirt. Pop Jimmy out. Now, I know I've said this on the last couple Ultimate Edition unboxings I've done, but I'm curious if anybody else is experiencing this. Not so much this Jimmy for me. He seems pretty stiff as far as his joints and everything like that. But man, my Muda, my Seth freaking Rollins, my recent Final Boss Rock, my recent John Cena, dude, they're so loose anymore. But this one is in pretty good shape. Now, I'm loving the joggers on this. Super shiny, glowing in the light. Those white kicks, which, by the way, his twin brother, also in this series, Jay Uso, the first round of them came with black sneakers. The appropriate color shoes is white. However, I think the black looks better. And I am always of the sound of basically, I want these things to be toyetic. So I don't memorize everybody's wrist tape and exact sneaker that they wear on every match they do. But if it looks good, I'm cool with it. So if I ended up with the black sneaker Jay Uso, even though it's not accurate, I'll take it. I'll take it. But so ironically enough, I was editing this video of the unboxing and I was like, you know what? Let me just go back and watch the match real quick, just out of curiosity. And it turns out Jimmy's shoes are also incorrect, as at Royal Rumble 2024, he wore red sneakers. So both Jimmy and Jay were incorrect in the initial pressings, but I haven't seen any red shoe Jimmys yet. So very interesting note right there. They fixed Jay's, but not Jimmy's yet. But we're taking off the hands of Jimmy. We want to take a look at his tattoos. A lot of fine detail in here you love to see, like the Fatu on the right arm, really embedded in that Samoan tribal that goes onto the other side, as you can see. He's got it up his back on his traps and over onto his pec, as most Jimmy Uso figures should. One of my favorite things of collecting the Uso figures was over time, they got more and more tattoos, and each release was just different than the last. So quite a fun way to really grow and expand your action figure career. So let's see. We have this Jimmy Uso where he's kind of like gritting his teeth with more of a stoic look. Then we have this one where it's like his eyes are kind of bulging out and he's doing that little snarl, that little Elvis like that he kind of does. And then we have the screaming head sculpt, which I like. However, there is like a little black spot on his nose, which, I mean, we shouldn't have to get used to this, but I feel like we have to get used to it, that ever since they moved over to Vietnam for their manufacturing purposes, Mattel's figures, Elites and Ultimates, have really had some quality control issues, such as a lot of paint all over, loose joints, like I said, missing certain pieces. There's been figures with incorrect heads, like all kinds of wild stuff. But yeah, all of these heads, I say, look pretty good. This is my favorite, and it's got a speck on the nose. So it is what it is. I can probably get that off with a little bit of elbow grease. But we're going to put on Jimmy Uso's shirt, which is the No Yeet shirt, which it said on the box. And on the back, my favorite part, it has Jimmy, and the I is the Bloodline 1. Because we the ones. Now, I'm loving these new shirts as well. They're very stretchy. There's no Velcro on the back, and they fit like an actual shirt or tank top or sleeveless cutoff, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to put this on the man and have him all decked out in red. That No Yeet logo right on the front. There it is. I will say, because I was at WrestleMania 40 when they faced each other, I was really hoping that Rikishi was going to get involved. I thought it would have been so cool if Rikishi was like the special guest referee or something like that. And I know I saw a couple other people talking about that around the time, and I was really hoping it was going to happen, but it just didn't. So I might have spoke a little too soon about these tank tops. Usually they fit very snug and nice. This one's a little bit more baggy, but the Usos do kind of wear their shirts a little bit more baggy. So I do think it is acceptable. We're going to put the chain on. I do love that we're getting a lot of jewelry. We're getting watches, bracelets, necklaces, things like that. I do think some of them are super, super thick. Like, I'm looking at the picture of Jimmy right now. His chain is not that thick. It is what it is. I get it. They can't exactly nail the scale perfectly with something like that. Again, he has quite a few different options as far as hands go. We've got fists. We've got C grips, as always, which I already took off. I'm not a big fan of C-grips unless there is something for the figure to hold. And back in the day, and I shouldn't even say back in the day because it's not that long ago, but before interchangeable hands, pretty much every Elite had C-grips, right? But I am more of a fist person, an open hand person, or a very unique hand mold. For instance, this with the one. So you know we're using that. I'm going to put the fist in on the left side. Going to put that Weta one's finger up. We're going to put his chain on. We'll put the little snarl head on. There he is. Look, another QC. Look at the back of Jimmy's pants. First of all, they're different plastics. We know that, but sometimes they can get the color incorrect. You can tell that the crotch piece is a different shade of red than the pants, but there's also some white spots on the back, which is kind of a bummer. So there he is. I like that head actually, but I want to see how I feel about this yelling head, the scream head, because I do think that's a lot of fun. But if you're going to be doing the one, hold him up, displaying him that way, it's really probably not the right way to go. So let's take his hair, put it on the outside. I love the braids on the hair, how it hangs in the back. Yeah, I feel like this is more of an action head that you use when, you know, you're actually posing him, fighting Jay and everything like that. So in the picture, they have him with the regular neutral one, which I think I'm going to go with. The one that was already on there, that more stoic look, a little bit more dry emotion, more of a stare, right? All right. Gonna have him put up the one because Weta ones, right? Weta ones. And then he comes with not the Ulafala, but I forget what they're all the different ones are called. He comes with that lay. Don't shoot me for that one. And we're gonna put that right on. What a cool figure, man. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. We're gonna bring this up close to the camera for you guys. A lot going on here, man. I would say they did a damn good job on this one. I know a lot of people are a little disappointed in the J, but little room for error with this Jimmy Uso. Great likenesses on all of the heads. You can see there on the nose, there's like a little speck there, which drives me crazy when I see stuff like that. And then we have that snarl one that I was talking about, which I do really like. I think looks really good. But I think we're going with this one for our display. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. It can always change up. But there he is, man. Jay Uso, his brother's keeper. Jimmy Uso is Jay Uso's brother's keeper. Over speaking right there. And as you can see, we have here the Ultimate Edition ring that we're unboxing this in. And it could be me, but I do feel like the scale is a little bit off. I think the turnbuckles are a little bit big. I think the ropes are a little bit high. I hate that the posts kind of very, very slightly bend in a little bit. But overall, I do think it's a beautiful display piece. And I love just coming down here and just seeing this thing drop dead in the middle. So that is the end of our Jimmy Uso Ultimate Edition unboxing. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at FigHeal. Twitter is at TheFigHeal. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com, or simply go to HealBooks.com and make sure you join Whatnot at WhatHeal.com. You'll get $15 off your first purchase, all right? And we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining me. We the ones. Out. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need FigHeal's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 5,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With Shots by Matthew Goldberg, the wrestling figure encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Premium full color and value black and white editions available now on Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeal. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeal. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHealed.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.